I just harvested date fruits this morning. And here are the date fruits, my harvest. My hands. This is the effect of me harvesting date fruits. My shirt also have dust. You can see that. That's the consequence.
When you think about ancient Egypt, do you think about mummies, pyramids, and pharaohs? If you do, you're probably like the majority of sixth graders. These are all definitely very interesting parts of Egyptian history. But could there be things from their history that still affect our lives today? Of course, there's many things that ancient Egyptians created that are still in use today. But first, do you know where Egypt is located? It's located in the northwestern area of Africa. A few of the countries surrounding Egypt are Lebanon, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan. What do a lot of these places have in common? Heat. Egypt is surrounded by desert on all sides, and it receives very little rainfall each year. All of the water they used came from the Nile River. Each year the Nile would flood, leaving rich deposits that created a very fertile land for crops to be planted in. This was called the Black Land.
Egyptians were one of the first cultures to use irrigation. They had to do it in order to survive. We can be thankful to the Egyptians for figuring out a way to live in the desert because we live in the desert too.
Egyptians were also very advanced in many aspects of technology. Papyrus, an abundant plant found in the delta of the Nile River, was used to make paper. They also created sun clocks, medicine, locks, and makeup. Everyone in Egypt wore makeup. It didn't matter if you were rich, poor, male, or female. Medicine was another important technological invention. They were some of the first people to understand that your pulse was connected with your heartbeat and associated with life. Egyptians also had their own writing system called hieroglyphics. Can you imagine having to draw a picture for each letter? That would take a really long time.
Many ancient cultures had their own religious beliefs that influenced their lives. This was no different in Egyptian culture. Pyramids, mummifying, and Pharisees all began due to their religious beliefs.
They believed in and worshipped many gods and goddesses, and they also believed that their pharaoh was descended from gods. Their beliefs affected their everyday lives and also the way their country was ruled. Does religion still affect our lives today?
All these practices in Egypt started a long, long time ago, but many of the things the Egyptians created or started influence our culture and lives today.
Rich in several vitamins, minerals and fiber too. These delicious fruits contain oil, calcium, sulfur, iron, potassium, phosphorus, manganese, copper and magnesium, which are all beneficial for health. Here are the top 10 health benefits of dates. Number 1. Prevent night blindness. The benefits of dates are extensive and are commonly employed to fight off various conditions affecting the ear, nose, and throat. Number 2. Treat diarrhea. Ripe dates contain potassium, which is known as an effective way of controlling diarrhea. Number 3. Prevent abdominal cancer. Research has pointed towards dates being a legitimate way to reduce the risk and impact of abdominal cancer. Number 4. Promote heart health. Dates are quite helpful in keeping your heart healthy. Number 5. Maintain nervous system health. The vitamins present in dates make it an ideal boost to nervous system health and functionality. Number 6. Boost energy. Dates are high in natural sugars like glucose, fructose, and sucrose. Therefore, they are the perfect snack for an immediate burst of energy. Number 7. Treat sexual weakness. Studies have shown that dates are even beneficial for increasing sexual stamina. Soak a handful of dates in fresh goat's milk overnight, then grind them in the same milk with a mixture of cardamom powder and honey. This mixture becomes a very useful tonic for increasing sexual endurance and reducing sterility caused by various sexual disorders. Number 8. Relieve constipation. Dates are often categorized as a laxative food. This is why they are so frequently eaten by people suffering from constipation. And number 9. Strengthen bones. The significant amounts of minerals found in dates make it a superfood for strengthening bones and fighting off painful and debilitating diseases like osteoporosis.
Dates are one of the healthiest sweeteners. That's what we use in the How Not to Die cookbook. You can blend them with water to make date syrup, or use date sugar, which is a whole food, just dried dates ground into powder, and as such is packed with nutrition, ending up with as much antioxidant power as blackstrap molasses, but without the strong taste. Though not all brands are the same. For example, Bob's Red Mill may have twice the antioxidants compared to Now Foods, though they only tested one package each. OK, so dates are healthy compared to other sweeteners. That's not saying much. Do dates have any special medicinal properties? You'll see papers like this in the medical literature touting the therapeutic effects of date fruits in the prevention of diseases, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-tumor activity, complete with figures like this, of the purported pharmacological activities of date fruits in disease control. But what they don't say is some of this may be based on studies like this, where they feed dates to rats. That sounds nice. But then induce testicular ischemia by twisting their left testicle clockwise 720 degrees, so like 2 full rotations to completely kink off the blood supply. So did the dates help? Who cares if the dates helped? We're talking about rat testicles. It's like when researchers test the nut-on-nut effects of pecans. What relevance does that have? Though ironically, perhaps the strangest assertion here, that dates helps with labor and delivery, is actually supported by randomized and double-blind placebo-controlled trials, as I've covered before. So let's keep an open mind here. What about the purported anti-cancer effects? Researchers studied the impact of dates on our good gut flora and colon cancer cell proliferation. Our gut harbors about 10,000 billion microorganisms and is considered the most metabolically active site in the human body. All sorts of crazy stuff is happening down there, and we can reward our good gut flora by feeding them prebiotics, like dietary fiber and polyphenols, a class of antioxidant phytonutrients. And dates have high levels of both. So let's blend up some dates with some gut flora, fecal slurries donated by volunteers. You've heard of green smoothies? More like a brown smoothie. Well, what happened? Both the whole date extract and just the date polyphenols were able to significantly increase the growth of beneficial bacteria. And then they also assessed the ability of mixtures to inhibit the growth of colon cancer cells in a petri dish. Even just a polyphenol fraction cut cancer cell growth by more than half, and the whole date extract nearly blocked cancer cell growth completely. Together, these data suggest that consumption of dates may enhance colon health by increasing beneficial bacterial growth and inhibiting the proliferation of colon cancer cells. It would have been nice if they actually studied the effects of dates in the actual colon, but there's never been such a study. Until now. The impact of date consumption on gut flora growth and large intestinal health, a randomized, controlled crossover human interventional study. Volunteers were randomized to either a control group or 7 dates a day for 3 weeks. And there were significant increases in bowel movement frequency, not surprising, eating the additional fiber, but also significant reductions in stool ammonia concentrations after consuming dates. I have a video on why that's important. Furthermore, date intake significantly reduced genotoxicity in human fecal water. What the heck is that? That's like human stool tea, a water extract of feces from someone eating 7 dates a day, causes significantly less genotoxicity, meaning is significantly less DNA damaging, which is good, since that's what's coating the insides of our colon on a daily basis. Dozens of different date varieties have been pitted, no pun intended, against a variety of cancer cells in vitro, and not just colon cancer and stomach cancer, which the dates might actually come in contact with, but also prostate cancer cells, lung and breast cancer cells. But of course, we'd have to first show that the active components are actually absorbed into the bloodstream and end up in those organs.
I just harvested date fruits this morning, and here are the date fruits, my harvest. My hands. This is the effect of me harvesting date fruits. My shirt also have dust. You can see that. That's the consequence. Date fruits are very common here in the UAE. They are not just simply mindful whether they are throwing it on streets. Just look at this. I'm standing here at the center island, and you can see that there are a lot of dates plantation in between the center island. It's nice. In between the blocks of the bricks, date fruit tree is actually growing. So if you just give the date opportunity to grow, yes, it will grow. Have the dust from the date fruit. After our office assistant Shafi washed the dates, it looks so yummy now. I think Ate Wing will be running and rush just have a bite of it. Yes. Look what we had harvested this afternoon. You know, we really seized the time to just pass here in this section and harvest dates fruit with Ate Luz.